Hello everyone, Russ of Aquariumex here. I'm just adjusting the camera here. I want you to have a chance to see the tiny little Multie Fry. There are several here, a new little batch of fry, clutch of eggs hatched a few days ago, and I would just love to share them with you. They're really small, some of the smallest I've seen, so I think we're catching them really young. And there are, I think, at least 3 down here. Hopefully you can hear me without my microphone. I can't plug in my microphone today because I'm not using my iPad, I'm using my phone. So just a second here, I'm going to grab some food and see if we can get a look here. Mr. Snake, hello, I think you're the first one in. Oh, there's several people in, nice. I'm going to try to keep track of it, of who's in. Just a second, I'm going to feed these fish, feed the multies, and see if you can see the fry. If they decide to poke out for us, that'd be fun. I did catch a little clip of them that I put on my Patreon page, so people could check that out. Oh, good. I'm going to put some microworms in. That usually gets them to come out. They really love the microworms. So there, I just spread a bunch of microworms in there, and we'll see if that gets the fry out. The nice thing about microworms is that they're so small, even smaller than baby brine shrimp, and so the fry, when they're really tiny, are too small to eat baby brine shrimp, but they can take the microworms. Oh, I see a fry. I thought I did anyway. Did you see that? I hope I didn't scare it. It's, let's see, I'm going to pull up the comments here so I can see everybody here. Yeah, Pokesaurus, you're on time. Nice to see you in here. And Mr. Snake, Samuel Tunnison in the house. Nice. So do you see any fry yet? Has anybody seen any? I'm going to pull it out to look at the tank at large just a little bit here for a minute so we can see what's going on in the aquarium itself, and then we'll check. Sorry, this is all wobbly. I'm experimenting with a, whoa, that was awful. I'm experimenting with a mini tripod that belongs to my wife, but it's a little tricky getting it to work. But let's take a look at the tank. Sorry. Here, I'm going to switch this around. I know this is a mess. Sorry about that. Okay. I'm trying to get that to work so you can see the fish. How's that? A little better? Oh. The phone is also upside down. I need to fix that. Just a second. What a mess. I'm sorry. I'm not used to using my phone when I'm doing this. It's just going to take a second. Okay, we're going to do this. Take a look at the tank. Okay. I'm trying to get to him. All right, who's in the house? Let's see. Flurkin and Porg says hi. Pokesaurus says I got my fish tank water to clear up. Awesome. Heather Jensen, hello. Blake Strand, hello. Welcome. Crystal's Pets and Plants, and Roly Poly Person. Nice to see you all here. Oh, I see one of the little fry just hovering above one of the shells there. I'm going to see if I can edge in a little closer and see if you can see it. It's sitting on top of this dark shell that is now right in the middle of the screen. Oh, they're ducking away, but I see more of them. So here we go. Moving in, folks. See if we can get some of those fries. Those fry, sorry. Superfluous S on that plural there, don't need it. I don't know if you saw that. I certainly did see a couple of fry darting around. See if you get a chance to see those. So let's see, where are we? Train Games and made it, hello. Chad Crott says, hi, y'all, first time in the channel. I've been really interested in multis lately. I wanted to check this out. Well, cool. Glad you decided to come by. As you can see, we've got a thriving colony of multis. There are about something like 9 adults, 11 fry that are fairly large, fairly grown up, and then a whole bunch of new fry are starting to show up, so that's fun. And let's see. Yep, it's Wednesday. Jay's Crazy Obsessions. You're right. That's why. Oh, you see that fry on the right? in that little shadowy place between the shells. There was one of them. And yes, I agree, Chris. Those shellies are so much fun to watch. Oh, I can't believe I forgot to adjust the timer. That'll just take me a second, adjust the timer, so that we can take a look at the fish. Today is just tricky that way. Oh, that's the wrong timer, isn't it? I gotta get the right timer. Well, that's fun. I can adjust the other timer too. Just need to reach it. Oh, it's such an old timer too. That's part of the problem. Really? Sorry guys. I'm having the weirdest day. Okay, here we go. I think I've got the timer going. There, back on. Ha! Ha ha ha! Sorry, what a lame live stream so far. I'm feeling so bad. It's just not working the way I want it to. Not your fault, just my 60 Multie Fry mic calling you right now. Wow, got a nice one going. You know, this is kind of my plan for the multis because I know I can get them breeding really crazily if I put in some newly hatched live baby. It's my plan, and then I'll probably get a tough fry that way. Anyway, I'm gonna move it out a little bit because you guys can't see the fry right now, so maybe that'll help make it more interesting if you can see the adults kicking around and stuff like that. Jeff Chambers says, awesome, I probably have 50 or 60 Multie Fry. I read that already. Heather Jensen, I got a blue mystery snail, ate all my duckweed. Wow. I need to get a blue mystery snail. Actually, I ended up vacuuming most of my duckweed up. But that's good to know if you can get it to eat duckweed. That sounds nice, actually. You need to control it. And thank you, Train Games. So Jay says, I just got 2 apple snails and they died well. Oops, think my levels are just too high. Could be. You mean like your water levels so they can't breathe very well? And Jeff Chambers says, I've been feeding live grindles and frozen cyclops. You know, I need to get a hold of some frozen cyclops again. And I may want to start culturing grindles again. It's been a while since I've done that. That's a good idea because I've been giving mine some scuds and Daphne and stuff like this, but I haven't been giving them as much as I should lately. Things have been kind of crazy, so I do give them to them, but not as often as I should. That probably helped too. And let's see, Oman Gabua says, what fish is this? This is Neolamprologus multifasciatus, the shell-dwelling cichlid, one of many shell-dwelling cichlids, but when people talk about shellies, this is one of the species they think of the most because it is one of the best shellies to keep in a community. As you can see, we got fish of all sizes here, and so they will tolerate fish of varying sizes. There are a lot of the shell dwellers that are extremely territorial, and if they see any fish that are not, you know, the clutch of young they're working with, even their own fry, that are not the clutch of young they're taking care of, they will just chase them off or even kill them. But these guys are not like that. These guys tend to, even the younger or the older fry will help take care of the younger fry from what I hear. I haven't actually seen that myself, but I've heard of it. Oh, cool. Oman, you're from the Philippines. That's nice to know. It's nice that we have viewers from the Philippines. I love that. Cool kid, awesome. Hey, how's it going? And Jay says, shoot, I'll take your duckweed, just feed it the goodies, or no? My tank sits around 20 nitrates and I think it was just too much. Oh, I see what you're saying. Too many nitrates. Yeah, well, that could do it. C2O says, I had 2 mystery snails in my shelly tank, and one of them got stuck in an escargot shell and ended up dying. Oh, no. Yeah, I guess that would do it. That would do it. That's sad. And let's see. Let's see. And you have Simulus shellies. They haven't bred yet. Oh yeah, the Simulus are really cool. I almost got Simulus actually, because there's a fish wholesaler not far away from me. It's about an hour drive away, something like that. And they had Similis. And I ordered a starter group of Similis, and then I paid for them and everything. And then I showed up and they said, "Oh, sorry, we sold those." So they said they gave me my money back. But I didn't have to, I wasn't able to get the Similis because of that. So I decided to just get some Multies instead. But they're very similar in many ways. Both very cool. I think I like the look of the Similis a little better, actually. But Multies are awesome too. So, Pokesaurus, you have saved this for Friday. Jeff Chambers, your videos on culturing live foods are awesome. You may have inspired me to keep some isopods as well. Well, thank you, and I hope so. Isopods are awesome. I have a box of isopods over there that I need to unbox. I'm unboxing them today after I finish this video, so I'm very excited about that. And thank you, Oman. I'm glad you liked the videos. Indeed, we can. I can figure out how to do that. I've done that with a few people before. There's a way to do that on YouTube, so I'll figure that out. And Jay's Crazy Obsession says, got my breeding super reds going again. If you wanted one, let me know. Cool. Are those the super super red sorry, bristlenose, the Ancistrus? Those are pretty cool. Is that the ones you're talking about? And Blake Strand says, bumblebees are doing great. Thank you. Yeah, awesome. Oh, I see a fry. I saw one above the shell. I don't know if you could see that or not. They're just kind of scared of me. So oh, I see a couple of them. There's two of them in between the dark shell on the left and the right under the fish, just to the left of that fish right now, under it. You see it going across the shell? Oh, you can see it. I hope you can see that. Starting around. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I wanted to see. Okay, and let's see. I'm so behind, sorry. So Blake got some bumblebee dart frogs for me. The 3 tadpoles that I raised that you saw in the videos, those are Blake's. And I'm glad to know they're doing well, Blake. Are they getting big? Oh, there's a fry. Oh, I hope you saw that. That was awesome. That was really close. C2O says, I've heard multis are easy to breed. Oh, there's a fry. That was super obvious. Is anybody seeing it? If you see the fries, let me know, because I totally want to know if you guys are picking this up. And C2O says, I've heard multis are easy to breed. I've heard that too. I think they're the easiest shell dweller all around. So I agree with you there. HC Aqua, hello and welcome. And Heather Jensen, have you seen the Cubaris Amber? They remind me of duckies, but wearing Charlie Brown sweaters. Totally see that. Yeah, I've seen pictures of those. I want to get, I possibly want to get those, but I want to get the rubber duckies first because they're so much more popular. But I love the Ambers too. They look really cool. That's true, Cool Kid Awesome. They should be visitors sometime. HC Aqua says, I have Multie Fry 2 at the moment. They take forever to grow out. They do take quite a while. I've noticed that. It's partly at the beginning you need to get them to eat. Okay, now, hopefully you guys are seeing these fry. And good. Okay, yep, you guys are seeing the fry. Excellent. Armanesto Patri, Jeff Chambers, HC Aqua, and Heather Jensen. Train Games all seeing the fry. Good. Okay, cool. Yeah, the super red, I like those a lot. I have only raised the wild types, the calicos, and the albinos myself, but I love those. And Jeff Chambers, you know what? I totally agree with you. I need to get some duckies, and I will as soon as I can find some. They're so expensive. Of course, it's going to be like $200 to get a starter colony going, so that's hard. But I totally want to do it. They're really hard to source right now, though. Super hard to source. So if anybody knows a place where you can get them, let me know. Let's see. Cool Kid Awesome. Do you guys remember when RJ the Beardy was on the live stream? How many of you were around when that happened? That was cool. He ate on camera. It was cool. And oh man, you have free cichlids. Can you just catch them? And okay, so Chad and Crystal are all seeing the fry too. Good. So everybody's seeing them. Okay, now question. Oh, you breed them. That's cool. So do you guys want to see the fry closer up, or do you want me to do a larger, wider angle shot of the whole tank? Tell me what you think. Um, and Jeff says, I saw that other channel Serpent Design got some a few months back. Wonder how his are breeding. Yeah, I'm wondering the same thing. I actually think I should contact him and ask him if he's got any, because who knows? Maybe he does. Maybe he has some babies that he'd be willing to share. Okay, my battery's running low, darn it. Let me see. I'm preparing for that though. I've got the charger right here and boom, okay. I am plugged in and ready to roll. Okay. Heather really wants to see the isopod unboxing. It is coming up soon. I will try to get that out pretty soon. I'm trying to decide where it's going exactly in the timing, but it'll be soon. Okay, I'm going to zoom in on the fry a little bit here. And Aquarimax, Oman is asking where Aquarimax is from. I am in the state of Utah. So, yeah, I'm trying to decide if that one's going out this week or if it's going out a week after. I'm not sure, but it'll probably be one of those. So, I just love these little Multie Fry. They're so tiny. They're so small that at this stage, I don't think they could even eat brine shrimp, newly hatched brine shrimp. They're taking the microworms, but I don't think they could handle the shrimp at this point. HC Aqua is in Hawaii, right? Am I right? On Oahu, like I was when I lived in Hawaii? That's what I was thinking. I'm trying to remember, but could be wrong. Yeah, brine shrimp are magical. Newly hatched brine shrimp, magical food. Can't say enough good about them. But at this age, these guys can handle microworms. They can't quite handle the brine shrimp. Okay, yes, on Oahu. Yeah, that's a great place to get some fish. You know, the local fish stores that I used to go to, I don't know if they're around anymore. I'm trying to remember the names of some of them. There was Mililani Pets, and it's been a while. There was one, I think it was called Coral Reef. And Armanestapati says, can they eat infusoria? They can, and they do. I squirt some water in from my Daphnia and Scud culture, which has some infusoria in it, and they seem to pick at that. They seem to pick at that a little bit, but yeah, they're definitely getting some infusoria. And Joseph Dirt, is that how you say your name? I am open to questions that aren't related to multis. Sure, I mean, depends on the question, but definitely possibility there. You can feel free to ask whatever you want, and you know, I can always decline to answer it, but I'll probably, if it's an animal related question, I'll try to answer it if I can, or just tell you I don't know the answer if I don't. So you're free to ask. And Jeff Chambers says, Oahu, you could do summer tubbing all year round. Definitely, I knew people who did. It was really cool. Very cool, and a lot of fun. There were people who just set out tanks on the sides of their driveway and would let the rain do the water changes. There was this guy, his name was Daryl, I think, and he had quite a few tanks going. I bought some nice longfin meteor minnows from him. They were really cool. Got those breeding. But out in his front yard, he had a number of tanks around, but one of them that I remember on the side of his driveway had a 10-gallon tank with anacharis growing in it and platies. And he said all he does is let the rain do the water changes, and the water was clear, and the fish were thriving, and it was cool. So HC Aqua does tubbing all year, over 20 of them. Oh, I would do that if I could move back. Probably won't ever have a chance to live there again, but I would totally do that. So so Heather says, I'm going to a museum conference in New Orleans next week. Maybe I can convince my husband to stop at some pet stores along the way and see what cool things I find. You know, when I was in New Orleans, I went to an alligator tour near the little town of Bayou Black, and it was really cool. I got to see all kinds of wildlife, not just alligators. I did see a ton of alligators, but I saw killifish, and I saw gar, and I saw bald eagles, and I saw turtles, and I saw frogs, and all kinds of things. So if you get a chance to do that while you're out there, do it. It'd be so cool. If that's something you want to do, anyway. Okay. Yep. Let's see. Joseph Dirt says, any recommendations on something to eat dead crickets? I just got some assassin bugs, and they just suck crickets dry, and I'm tired of cleaning up crickets. You know what? There's a couple of ideas for you there. dry dead crickets. You can put them in a germestid beetle colony is one idea. Germestid beetles will eat those. Although if they're completely dry, they might not be all that interested. You can give them to blue death feigning beetles. In the wild, like 60-something% of their diet, I'm not sure the exact proportion, but something like that, is dried insects that they find out in the desert. And so you could give them to those. A lot of isopods, especially some of the more carnivorous ones, will eat dry crickets. So that might be a good idea for you. Get a nice isopod colony going. You could drop those dry crickets in there. They crave chitin, which, dead crickets are mostly chitin, so if they're sucked dry. So there you go. That could be a good way to go. So, and, oh, that's true, Jeff, about Hawaii. Any of the islands, if you're on the windward side or the leeward side, the weather's going to change. And I lived on the windward side, so it was very rainy and wet most of the year, and it was cool. Heather bought a shirt that says I love lobster, but the picture is a scorpion. I love it. That's awesome. Awesome. Oh, really? Jimmy did a tour of your fish room and your ponds? Oh, I got to check that out. Definitely. I want to do that. Everybody go check that out on Sashimi Whiskey's channel. It's Jimmy from Aquarium Co-op. Did a tour of HC Aqua's fish room and ponds. I want to watch that. Everybody watch it. Let me know what you think. Crystal says, I love me some killifish. Yeah. I've really not done a whole lot with killifish, but I would love to. I'm going to do some Nothobranchius rancovi, something like that that'll do well in the water that I have here. And Joseph Dirt, what specific isopods? Well, you could go with quite a few different ones. The dwarf whites they crave the protein, but they're tiny, so you'd have to have a nice big thriving colony. Porcelio laevis, they're pigs. Powder blues are pigs. Those are two really good ones that you could go with. So you're welcome. And RJ isn't eating very much, and when he does, he only eats a few crickets. That doesn't sound too good. What are the temperatures in his enclosure? Has there been any changes there? What about calcium in his diet? Has he been getting enough of that? Are you supplementing his crickets and that sort of thing? Is his UV light still producing UV? How new is it? I'm trying to figure out some things to see what I can do to help you. Cool kid. You know what? When I babysat him, he loved to eat dandelion greens. And maybe you could get him to eat some of those. You can come get some dandelion greens from my yard because we don't spray. So we could work that out. And let's see. Oh, Tazawa Tanks did a tour of your place too. That's awesome. And the waves on the north shore of Oahu in winter are definitely insane. There were times when we're driving along the Cam Highway there and worried about what was going on. So, hey Russ, how do you treat your reptile waters? I'll tell you what I do. I just pretty much use distilled water for my reptiles because most of them are in live, bioactive vivariums. In most of my reptiles, I use that. Let's see, there are a couple of exceptions, but I tend to use distilled water for most of them. And then I use filtered tap water for our snake's water. So, and that seems to work fine. So I don't really need to treat them because one's carbon filtered and the other one is distilled, so there's nothing in it. And Alexandra Ramsey says, thanks to you, I now want some rubber ducky isopods, but I have no idea what to do with them if I get them. Sell them? Feed them to something? Help them take over the world? I would say sell them, because if you can get a hold of them, they're still going for around 20 bucks a pop. An isopod, not a starter colony. 20 bucks per isopod. So I would definitely say sell them, because that would be an expensive snack. And the demand is so high right now, if you're breeding them, you definitely are going to find, that's one really nice thing about isopods. The prices eventually go down some, but they don't go down a lot. I mean, when I was first seeing zebra isopods for sale, they were like, I don't know, $4 or $5 each, and now have gone down to about $1.50 to $2 depending, and somewhere around there. And you know, they're still worth something. There aren't isopods. There aren't very many isopods that are less than $1 each, and things like the Spanish Porcelio, the large ones, are still, you know, $7 to $10 each, depending on the species, and some of them are less, but the prices are pretty stable. And HC Aqua, what are you feeding the Multie Fry? I am feeding them mostly microworms and really finely crushed food and whatever infusoria they get from my Daphnia tank, and that seems to work pretty well. You renew the UV every month. That is good. And 98F calcium every week on Tuesday. Cool. Oh, that doesn't sound too bad. I mean, I would do calcium maybe twice a week, but that's not bad for a guy that big. And what about the vegetables? You're saying he's only eating a few crickets. He's not interested in the vegetables? And Jay's Crazy Obsessions. Yeah, I use the distilled water for drinking water because I don't want to get the drinking water in my bioactive enclosures. I don't want to get the water stains on the glass. So that's what I use, except for the snake, because I don't have to worry about that. And so I use just the filtered tap water. Jeff Chambers. Serpent Design sends you some. I'll take a starter colonies of finder's fee. Oh, and Heather Jensen says, oh, I forgot I was going to tell you I have a vase with a sweet potato that I was struggling to root for months. Added a bubbler and 24 hours later, new roots needed stimulation. Cool. That is really cool. Have you all seen Foo the Flowerhorn sweet potato betta aquarium? It's kind of a cool thing going on. Pokesaurus, what is the biggest animal you've ever had? Probably biggest animal I've ever had. A dog, a Chesapeake Bay Retriever. That's the biggest one. I don't remember how much she weighed. It's been many years. But she was a female Chesapeake Bay Retriever, and she's the biggest one I've ever had. And Jay's Crazy Obsessions. Do you worry you're not allowing them to have some minerals? I'm not, and I know that people worry about distilled water that way a little bit sometimes, but you don't need to worry if they're getting minerals from other sources, balanced ones, and mine do. So I don't worry about it because they get a lot from their food. I put minerals in their food, you know, the vitamin mineral supplements and so on, so they do fine. You know, generations of critters on distilled water without a problem. And so, just a second. There's something wrong. The battery is not charging the way it should. Ah, that's why. It got disconnected. Sorry, this is going to be ugly for a second. I guess we're getting close to the end of the stream anyway, a couple minutes. But I need to plug this in over here because it's dying on me. Just a second. Sorry. What a crazy stream today. Probably the craziest stream I've ever had. But oh well, it's a stream. Okay. Okay, and thanks HC Aqua for joining in. And yeah, definitely, Heather. Foo's got some cool stuff going on. Cool Kid Awesome. He eats a lot of different vegetables and fruits like strawberry, raspberries, and romaine lettuce with little carrots. Okay, well that's good. And he's still eating his vegetables or not? Pokesaurus says, sounds nice. My biggest pet was a dog too, but the cat isn't far behind. Yeah, our cat is big, but not that big. Oh, thank you, Heather. Like Spike would be awesome. And Jay's Crazy Obsession says, makes sense. I really tried hard to keep a bluegill and bottled water from big jugs at Walmart. Bad idea. Yeah, with fish, I think, depending on the kind of fish, if you have really soft water fish, you can pull off some distilled as long as you remineralize it slightly. They do need some minerals in there. But as far as, because the fish are living in it all the time, and that's where they're getting a lot of their minerals. But then you put a hard water fish in really soft water, you're going to have some problems. Okay, so Cool Kid Awesome says he eats all the fruits and lettuce, but not that many crickets. You know what? I wouldn't worry too much about that as long as he's getting all his minerals and he's got the UV light and everything and his temperature's fine, because he's getting older, and as beardies get older, they don't go after the protein as much as they used to. They're going to go more for the greens a little bit more. So, not a bad thing. Pokesaurus says, once time my cat got sick and lost a lot of weight, but still weighed 20 pounds. Wow, that's a huge cat. That is a gigantic cat. Our cat's pretty heavy at 17 pounds. I think that's the most he's ever weighed. But that is a huge cat. Look at that. That's amazing. All right, well, I'm glad you got to see the fry, everyone. Sorry that the stream was a little messy today with the problem with the iPad. I usually have it on a tripod and it makes it a little more stable. But with the charging cycle today, I just wasn't able to make it. But at least you got to see the fry, got to see the multies. Thanks for joining in. And has anyone seen Gopher Herping's video where the beardies try all the veggies? No, but I kind of want to now. And, well, yeah, Cooper's a big dog compared to the cat, but he's a dog, so that makes a difference. Well, I better go, everyone. Thanks for joining in. And keep an eye out for that isopod unboxing. I'm excited.